Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the family. I hope you're doing great, and I hope that you are happy that I'm speaking in English tonight. Who speak French only here? Okay, good. Who speaks English? Okay, that's great. So, maybe you don't know, but the family switched to English. That's cool, that's important. We all need to speak English. We all need to practice. And it's okay if we don't have a perfect English accent. Accents are actually cute. And we can totally assume it. You can say that? Yeah, to assume it. So at the family, we have something very important. It's the teacher who is someone who is really important. It's Maria. So to get better at English, she is actually the girl. She is meeting with every single startup founder to get a better pitch level. So she's an actress, and yeah, and she's also a writer, and she lives with us every day here, speaking with startup founders to help them being better at the pitch practice. So tonight, because it's a special event on pitching, on speaking in English, and it's a lot about attitude also, I've asked her to do a short introduction, 10-minute introduction, for you to get better at pitching in English. So please welcome Maria.
Hi guys. How are we doing? Good. Does anyone know where the word pitching comes from? Okay, so let's go back to America for a minute. And there's this little game called baseball. Right, and for those of you that aren't familiar with the game of baseball, you've got your baseball field in the shape of a diamond. You've got your home plate, you've got first base, second base, third base, and you've got the pitcher's mound, right? And the pitcher is the guy, because, you know, it's only men. Pitcher is the guy who's throwing the ball to the batter who, as we all know, right, hits it, hopefully, out of the park. Now, when I was a kid, I really wanted to be a pitcher, you know? Like, I pictured, like, walking out onto that field, all those people looking at me, you know, stepping into that pitcher's mound with that ball in my hand, taking a really, really deep breath, and then throwing that ball and starting the game, because the pitcher starts the game. So for you guys, the pitcher would be the CEO. The CEO is the one who starts the game. Now, do you think that a pitcher just shows up to a game like 15 minutes before, you know, like kicks back and drinks a beer, eats some snacks, until somebody goes, hey, it's time to play ball, it's time to start the game? No way. Way before, the pitcher has already thought about who he's going to pitch to. You know, like, I got to pitch a little higher, I got to this guy, I got to pitch a little lower to this guy, I got to do this, this, that. It's the same thing with you guys. Like, when you're pitching to a VC or you're pitching to clients, you have to adjust your pitch depending on who you're talking to. Then, once the pitcher gets to the field, you get to the place, the pitcher goes onto the field, right, on the field, kicks around the dirt, you know, puts his foot there, and you bet I did that tonight. I came up beforehand and took a minute with space. Then the pitcher starts his warm-up throwing pitches. And he doesn't start at 100%. He starts at 30%. And then he goes to 50%. And then he builds and builds until he is ready to play ball, start the game. Now, a good pitcher starts off strong, but he doesn't give everything away. Because if you give everything away in the first 5 minutes, guess what, guys? Game is over. It's done. You want to keep the game going. Now, okay, I know that we're not playing professional baseball here, okay? But the way that I prepare and the way that I think you should prepare for a pitch is kind of similar, you know? There's a lot of preparation that goes into a pitch, a lot. You know, first you gotta think about who you're talking to, right? Because that's what's gonna direct your pitch, right? Then, you know, I try to gather as much information as I can, try to think about the questions that perhaps you guys might, you know, ask me tonight after this. And then I write down everything I'm going to say, I'm not kidding, and then I practice, and I practice, and I rehearse. Not at 100%. For example, earlier today, you know, I went over to the coffee machine in the back, 30%, and was like, guys, pitching, baseball, think about it, you know, walked away. And then later, I grabbed Balthazar and Blake, took them into the production room with all those gentlemen in there. I did it at 50% with some more people, and then I practiced and I practiced until I was ready to play ball. And then I have a little fun, because, you know, you want to have a little fun. It is a game, you know. It takes a lot of practice, right, to pitch well. And, you know, the thing is, you know, I'm sure you're saying to me right now, well, yeah, okay, Maria, fine, but it's in English, okay? So it's a different situation, which, yes, but also no. If you've ever seen a professional baseball game and you've watched a pitcher, wow, they use their whole body when they pitch. The words are just one component. But for the words, okay, preparation and practice. That's just kind of the way it goes. Now, they say that success is preparation that meets opportunity. And guess what, guys? We are preparing you for that opportunity tonight, okay? We have just recently changed over all of our content into English, as you know. And every day, everybody at the family gets up here and speaks in English. They're not just doing that for themselves, guys. They're doing that for you. We're doing this for you. We're preparing you to be major league pitchers. Yes, okay? And so now we are passing the ball over to you. So come up here, you know, be bold, try things. You know, that's one of the beautiful things about pitching your ideas instead of pitching baseballs, you know, is that you're always pitching, you know, whether you're here, whether you're at a cocktail party, at dinner, talking to your mom. Practice pitching to different audiences. See how people respond. See what they respond to, what they don't respond to. Use every opportunity as an opportunity to practice your pitching. Okay? So remember, this is a safe space. We're practicing tonight. Okay? So let's have some fun out there, guys. And without further ado, wait, hold. In case any of you guys want to continue practicing your pitching skills, especially in English, I'm doing a coup d'etat pitch in English workshop starting in 2 weeks, the 21st of November. So if you go to pitch.coudetat.co, please sign up. It would be awesome to see you there. We're going to be doing a lot of things that will apply to not only your pitches in English, but your pitches in French too. So it'd be great to see you guys, all right? So without further ado, I want to see us get a little excited, okay? Are we excited? Yeah, okay, it's a start. Good, all right, guys, so let's play ball. Let's go.
So at the end of this event, she will be back on stage and she will give us a conclusion about all the idiomatic expressions that have been used by the people on stage and that shouldn't have been used, and what actually they should have used. Whoa. Yeah! Plus que parfait du subjonctif. All right, so the rule tonight. We've selected 5 startups. We love their product. We want to see them on stage. They all have the same rules, which is 5 minutes to pitch, and we will give them some feedback. And the way they have to organize their pitch is, first, your one sentence. It's not written, but your one sentence. So how do you present your startup in a very short sentence? I am the YouTube of animals. I solve this problem. This is a demo, so we have to feel like a user when we see the demo. I have an amazing team, we've done this and this and that, and this market is growing and very big. It's not in that order, for sure. You do it the way you want to do it. And even if we invite American on stage, we are French, okay? So play it your own way. Okay, we were not born storyteller. We were not born to speak on stage and be confident. That's okay. Do it your way, your style. The only thing that we want to see is your story, a real story. We want to live something. We want to feel something. It's not an investor pitch. Huh? It's really a user pitch. So tonight we're going to see Mealy, Studynizer, OKPLAISIR, MyTwist, and Weslash. All the participants, they will actually be rewarded for coming on stage and daring pitching in front of you. They will all win Coup d'Etat on Demand, which is all the culture. It's more than 50 hours of private video that we give to our startup at the family. And the winner, because you will select a winner, will win the pleasure to have Maria as a teacher for Coup d'Etat pitch. Yeah, that's big. Okay, so you know me. Let's introduce the other people. So we will be Jean, Blake, and I judging, and Maria will come to help you because she's lovely and she's only about helping you, whereas we will be hard a little bit. Huh? So come on, guys. Come on, Jean, Blake. Yeah, you can applaud. So Jean used to be a partner at the family. He's now the partner at Kimaventure, which is a very smart move. We are very happy to still have him working with us, working with a startup, but more focused on giving money. Can you introduce yourself?
So I'm Jean, I work for Kima Ventures. We see every single day about 100 startups and we invest in 2 of them every week from 100 to 200K, seed and series A, and we invest faster than Lucky Luke can shoot.
And Blake, our new partner, American guy from LA.
Hey, what's up? I'm Blake. Nice to see you all tonight. I've done a couple of different startups, one based in California, one based here in Paris, and it's been super fun being a part of the family. So hope to meet all of you all individually at some point.
Okay, so encourage them. It's hard to pitch on stage. The first team to come is Ask Mealy, right? Okay, give a round of applause to them.
Hi, good evening everybody. Nice to be here with you. So we are Mealy, and we think and we're pretty sure that we are the best cooking assistant you can ever find and that was ever made. And I will explain to you how that is in just a minute. Well, first we were looking at some of the problems that you can have when you're eating. Well, we all want to get healthy, we all want to get good food, we all want to get fit, and we all want to look good, basically. So we were starting to look at how can we help you to get healthy. And one of the main problems is, well, 80% of people don't vary their meals. They eat the same thing over and over and over and over again. You also have probably guessed that eating healthy is quite expensive. When you get good food, it costs you some money. it's also very difficult to renew your fridge and use all of it, so there is a lot of food waste. And then most of all, it's difficult to eat healthy because you have to know a lot about food, you have to know a lot about what you eat, you have to put some knowledge and effort in what you eat, and it's kind of difficult, and not everybody can do it quite easily. So that's why we created Mealy. So as I said, Mealy is a cooking assistant. It's an assistant that will help you cook healthy menus with what you have in your fridge. But also, I touched the money problem. When you eat something, it costs you money to buy it. So how about some solution that would give you a way to get vouchers or money on the ingredients you like and on stuff you like most? So that's what we did, and basically we built a voice-activated assistant to do that, and it's with an app, and I'm going to show you how it works in just a minute. Of course, it is absolutely free for you to use. So here is the demo for you. So this is an Amazon Echo. Basically, you can see it as a programmable Siri if you have an iPhone. And here's how it works. Alexa, ask Mealy, what can I cook with carrots and eggs?
Would you like to cook goat cheese potato patty?
Yes.
Nice. I saved this recipe in your Mealy app. I also added a voucher of 41 cents to buy carrots. Go check it in your Mealy app. One last thing. Do you want me to guide you through the steps of this recipe?
Yes, please.
Meanwhile, peel and grate the carrots. Season with salt, pepper, lemon juice, and a drizzle of olive oil.
So basically, that's the very short demo. It's basically you say what you have in your fridge. So you would go to your fridge and say, well, I have carrots and I have eggs. What can I cook with it? And we'll just return some examples of good recipes, and it will learn from what you eat and what you like and what you want, basically. And it will every time return you something different, so you can vary your meals, you can eat healthier by that. And well, as I usually do my demo with carrots because I love carrots, and it will know that I eat a lot of carrots because every time I turn it on, I say I have carrots. So it knows I love carrots, and it will just give me vouchers from our partners to buy carrots next time. And then, well, as you know, cooking can get a little messy, so I can get guidance and vocal guidance through the recipe. So I will go like that. Alexa, ask Mealy, what's the next step?
Peel, chop and sweat the onion in a frying pan with a little olive oil.
I would just, do what it says, and then, Alexa, what's the next step?
The term next has several distinct uses.
You get the idea.
Elected but not yet serving. 2, immediately following in time.
Alexa, stop. So, it's a voice-activated device. It's Amazon Echo. It's available right now only in the US, but it will be available everywhere. But the thing is, we don't want to stop at just one device. And what we did was provide a way for any connected object to connect to our service. If you have a microphone, if you have a speaker, you can connect and do that. So if you have a fridge, you can just buy a license from us and connect your fridge to us. And it also works as a standalone app if you don't have that. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your pitch. Who want to start, guys? Yeah? You want to start?
Do you have a slide with the other competitors? With the same companies in your space?
We don't
Like,
have
do
a
you know
Slack.
Kitchen Stories?
No, I don't.
Okay, Kitchen Stories is a leading app on the App Store, and it does exactly the same thing in all languages without the use of complicated things like an assistant.
Well, what you call complicated thing is actually what makes it simple. Alexa, what can I cook with eggs?
Sorry, I don't know the answer.
Okay, fuck. Yeah, the demo effect.
No, I mean, all your pitch is complicated. The first slide is 5 sentences about the price, the quality of the food, the fact that you're missing ingredients, about a lot of things. So what's the point of your app? What exact problem do you want to solve?
Well, that would be the easiness of solving that problem for you.
Which problem?
Or finding what to do with what you have in your fridge.
Okay. And when you're missing ingredients, what do you do?
That's the next or previous slide or whatever. I don't know what that is. When you have missing ingredients, you can order them through Amazon Fresh directly, and it gets delivered to your door.
How long do you need to wait?
1 hour.
Okay. Not sure this is a real solution to a problem when you really need to eat something right now.
Basically, we send you recipes with what you have in your fridge. So if you say what you have, we'll give you a recipe with what you have.
Okay. I think you're seeing too much into the future and not enough into the present. But that's interesting. Why voice activation? I mean, you can put your phone on the wall and just have the step one after the other on a video. It works the same way. It's easier, and you can see the recipe on the video.
No, it's also on the app, and it goes as you speak to the assistant. It also goes through the steps.
Okay.
So you can also put you just don't have to touch it with your messy hands.
Okay. Have a look at Kitchen Stories.
Yeah,
Really.
sure.
Because this is the main competitor, and it's rocking the App Store at the moment.
Okay.
Okay, so many things to say. First, thank you for your pitch, thank you for being here, thank you for your courage. The first 3 minutes were a bit hard. I think you lost most of the people because we felt that you were stressed, and we felt it maybe too much to be with you in your story, and you didn't work on your story to make it with colors, images, so that we can connect with you. It was really rational. So problem and brrr, the list of problems. And yeah, it's way too much. You need to focus on the problem. And when you talk about the problem, never talk about the problem as if you were God looking on earth, but always talk about the problem as a user, being a mom in the kitchen, you know? So we need to leave the problem with you, so tell the story from the inside, always. And never go from one topic to another. That's something for everyone. And when you do a pitch, never do a pitch with slide 1, problem, slide 2, blah, blah. The title should already be a problematic, a way you see the thing, because we want to enter in your mind when you pitch. We want to live the thing. So this is the thing. The second thing, I was really impressed and surprised by the demo, but it's something cool with your thing is that it worked, even if at the end it didn't work, but it worked. But you make me think about, because it remember me the time when I went to hacker spaces in Eastern Europe, and I met some hackers, and they did this with a fridge, so you could talk to the fridge. So it's really a vision of the future that you never know if it will really work, but at least it's fun to do. So this is fun to do, and I'm sure you are an engineer, and I've seen the slide, you are a team of engineers, and we see the pleasure of geeking on your fridge, and the pleasure of hacking the Hecom thing, rather than asking your mom how does she do when she has something in the fridge and she want to cook. So you start with the geeky thing more than the usage thing. And even if Siri has been bought and it's a story of an exit and blah blah, it's good, but nobody talked to iPhone. how many people use Siri here? Okay. And we are in the most tech crowd of Paris, of France. No, but you see what I mean?
Yeah, again, it's not an iPhone. It's a device that you have in your house already.
That's the same thing. I mean, people don't talk too still, but maybe prove the contrary. But
25,000 reviews on Amazon.
yeah, but Siri is on every iPhone, and still, see what I mean? On this point, if you can prove that people will want to talk.
I'm just saying that people use that particular device because people buy it, and it's only good for talking to it. That's
Okay.
just what I mean. So people do talk to a device,
All
at
right.
least that one.
Okay, so this is a magic device, so it will change the way people think. Maybe, I hope so, because the thing is that so third thing and then I'm done. When he said, yeah, but you have an app and you have this, so actually we can use two ways to go to the solution. So never do this, please. Why? Because by not choosing, you're dispersing. And even if you think dispersing, I don't know, Maria, can I say that? Dispersing? You can say that? Ah, sorry, Blake, yes, I couldn't. No, but I mean, you always have to choose to focus on one way to do the thing and not many ways thinking like I offer more choices and it's better. It's a defocus, exactly. Because at the end, the person will never be able to talk to the other person like in one way of your product. Like, what is Ask Elsie? It is a thing you talk to? No, it's an app. No, it's everything in the end.
Very good point. Thank you.
Okay. At the end, your slides were beautiful, but way too much things written on it. Use more picture.
Okay.
Color are cool, but for instance, for the problem, it's way too much thing written. And that's it. So I'm like so. Thank you.
First of all, everybody give this guy a quick round of applause for his courage, right?
Thank you.
So, not easy to get up in front of a bunch of people and have your idea like dissected, so hats off to you for that. So 3 quick points. First of all, the way that you presented the project, I believe you used the words, it's a cooking system. This is just a general point about the language that you use, and I know you're speaking English, it's not your first language, but especially the first sentence, the first couple sentences of your pitch, you should really be memorizing them, and word for word, you should know exactly what you're saying. Cooking system, I have no idea what that means. Yeah.
Not system. Cooking assistant.
Cooking assistant, okay, so I didn't understand, my apologies.
Sorry.
But even so, a cooking assistant, I'm not sure exactly what that means, so choose your words really wisely, I would say. Secondly, the problem wasn't clear, and this problem slide that you have here, over 80% of people use less than 15 different menus each month. Actually, that's not really correct English, and it kind of makes it difficult to understand. We don't say menus in that sense. And if you could dive in a little bit more deeply in terms of like, what is the problem that you're trying to solve? Is it the time? Like maybe you could start out with a baseline of how much time people generally spend preparing their meals, and typically using this solution, people can spend 15% less time preparing their meal. Like WITHM is an acronym that I find useful. What's in it for me is the consumer. So like if I'm the consumer and I'm listening to this pitch, what's in it for me if I use your product? Do I gain 15% of time? Like, do I get to cook healthier meals? What is it specifically that gives me a benefit? And then lastly, regarding your demo, it wasn't clear to me, actually, what's the functionality difference between what your app does and what Alexa does. So I know that it's connected to Google. Like, could you just be asking her to give you Google recipes, or
no, it's
and almost involving that in your demo maybe makes me not understand what your product does and what Alexia does, right? And then also in terms of like a go-to-market thing, you're always going to be constrained by the number of users that have Alexia in their home.
No.
No?
No, because we are doing an API so that any if you have any a speaker and a microphone and you want to connect it to Mealy, you can. So
Okay.
if you have, we are in touch with Seb, the fridge company. And
Right. So yeah, an interesting idea, and like Jean said, I think you may be living in the future more than the present. So if you could show an immediate use case that would have a large total addressable market, I think that would be more convincing as you're pitching. But
Okay,
thanks.
thank you.
Okay, so now we have Studynizer.
Hello, everybody. Hello. So, when you are young, when you are a student, you are young, wild, and free. So, you want to party, you want to hang out, and more precisely, you want to live. But there is a paradox. You have to go to school. You must have good grades. And it's tough to conciliate everything. And when you're at college, this is your life. You can only choose two. That's why Studynizer has been created to go from this to this. So Studynizer is a calendar designed for the student from a student. Its purpose is to tell you which course to study and when, depending on your schedule. And now we'll show you a quick demo on how it works. So you go into Studynizer. You see the calendar, you click on the day to see everything you got, what you can study and when. You can click on the location and go directly from the location. For me, 3 hours, because I'm from Belgium. Yes. You go back into Studynizer. To add an event, you press a date. You choose a tag, year courses, an hour, you set a time. You enter duration. You add a title, year anatomy, because I'm a physio. I will tell you after. Yes. So, and if you click on it, it automatically sets you a time when you can study, depending on your schedule. If you go in courses, you can add your courses and add a subjective difficulty. Yes, that's it. No. So at the moment, Studynizer has been launched on the store on May 2015, and it's free to download. At the moment, there is around 5,000 users, and the majority being in Belgium. The mission of Studynizer is to give a better college experience by being organized. And the next step of Studynizer is to build a leaner and a simpler version, a 2.0 version of Studynizer, and to distribute it first in the school in Belgium and then internationally. Concerning the founder, here I am. Yes, I am alone. Because my philosophy is simple. You must have the whatever it takes mindset, and you have to move your head when you want to get something, because nobody will give it to you. And I also feel the duty to help other people, to help them improve their lives, because otherwise I would be wasting mine. And I'm also a physiotherapy student, a first year in Belgium. It means that I know what you're going through, what you're dealing with. And the idea edged last year when I was at school. I was having problem to organize myself, and I was looking for help, for tools. And of course there is calendar, to-do list, but nothing that will indicate you what to study, when and how. That's why I decided to create Studynizer, at first for me, and then to share it to help other people like me. So, please. If you want to stay young, wild, and free, be wild, download Studynizer, share it to your friend, because Studynizer is success by freedom. Thank you.
So quick feedback. I loved your pitch, actually.
Thank
I
you.
loved your opening, and it was immediately engaging. You obviously chose your words very wisely. I have no idea what your product does. I'll be honest. I think it's an interesting idea to try to manage a student's time better, but it was not immediately clear to me through the demo how exactly your product does that.
Okay, so it's really you go into Studynizer, you add all your courses of the journey, and on the other part, courses, you add your courses of the quadmaster with a subjective difficulty, and you can also add in your schedule if you have to go to sport or something like that. And when you have free time, it will indicate you which course to study and when. So there is a lot more things to add, a lot more features. I'm doing the coup d'etat product and design, but here it's a big beta, a big prototype.
So yeah, there could be something there. It just seems that I wonder what the delta is between the amount of time that it takes to do all these inputting this information manually into your app versus just going in and adding to your calendar, like, oh, I should study for this particular class on Tuesdays and another class on Wednesdays. If your app can really create a big delta between those two, then it's interesting. But at this point, I'm not convinced that it does.
No, at this point there is still little bugs. Yes, that's absolutely right, and it has to be improved. That's why I'm constantly learning how to improve. I go see people with ideas, what they can tell me, help me, and of course in the future it will be even better. Okay. Thank you for your feedback.
Well, yeah, I really enjoyed the way you pitched, even if it wasn't like fluent English. It's okay. Accents are cute. Even Belgium accents are cute.
Thank you.
And you were born in '94.
Yeah, 94. So I turned 21
Like
Monday.
I was dancing on the Spice Girl at that time. So crazy. So this is like really impressive.
Thank you.
Just to go back to the pitch, I mean, it was. I was totally into your story, and I love the way young, wild, and free. So it's simple. You speak slowly because you know that it's hard to speak in English. That's cool, but the way you tackle your pitch is, we are students, we want to party, but we need to sleep and we need to have good grades. And the way you design your app, so if I understand well, so first question, it's connected with Google Calendar?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So it's anyone is using Google Calendar. It will scrap my my agenda, and I can add some info. And the info I can add is the level of difficulty.
Yes.
Yes. And what else?
It's pretty done.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't want to
Okay,
make it
simple.
too-
You add the level of difficulty, and when in your demos, the only thing that I remember is the way you talk to yourself. Tu dois faire ça. And this is a simple thing, but it's something I loved. But if you can really like help me to anticipate, you will have a contrôle. Je sais plus comment on dit contrôle. Exam. You will have an exam within 1 week. So every night you should rehearse. You should go and work. And if it does this, why not? I don't know. And if it does it the way you talk to yourself. So what I see is that you're a physicianist, as you said.
Physiotherapist.
Physiotherapist.
Kinésithérapeute.
Putain, l'anglais c'est chaud. So it looks a little bit like when the UX of your interface. It's look a little bit like a young boy in a spaceship. You say spaceship? Yeah, you say spaceship. You know, like it's like dark in the night with this, you know, the rotation thing. It looks like in a navy also, in a boat under the water. Submarine, exactly. It looks like a submarine. So, and this plus the fact that you ask and you talk to yourself, you should do this. I don't know. I didn't see the coherence in the way you designed it, and I didn't feel the level of difficulty. It will be enough to make the people download it. I don't know. Actually, you said you have 5,000 people who download it. So what did you learn from them?
It's so. I learned from them what you were telling me. There is some things that ain't right, and that's why I'm doing coup d'état, the formation.
Design,
and with the formation, I have a more in-depth view in my product, and I change things. So I have a completely other features. I will change everything. So that's why I was talking about simpler and leaner version. But here it was 5 minutes, so I presented
Okay,
it
but
like
people use it every day?
No.
No.
It's not ergonomic enough.
Okay.
And actually the problem is that I don't develop myself. I don't do design.
No way.
So
Fuck it.
Donc moi j'ai sous-traité, I don't know in English.
You didn't do it.
No, I don't. I didn't do it myself. But I have all the right. It's my thing.
All right. So it's not impressive, guy, because it's totally different if it's not you who did it. You see what I mean? Well, anyway, you fake it. It's cool.
Okay, you basically answered all the question. I only had one comment. Your accent sounds more Russian than Belgian.
And a friend of mine tell me exactly the same yesterday.
Okay. Thanks a lot. Bravo.
Thank you.
OKPLAISIR, c'est parti.
Hi everybody, I'm Aurélie and I'm happy to present OKPLAISIR, the app that boosts your relationship. Who would like to understand better female pleasure? Raise your hands. Now, remember, last time in a relationship, you said to yourself, am I misunderstanding something? Am I misunderstanding something? 4 years ago, I left my job at Vente Privée and discovered the orgasmic meditation practice moving to San Francisco. It's a partner practice to understand more sexual energy and female pleasure. I've been fascinated by people practicing. They had this amazing ability to feel each other and express their desire really clearly. I said to myself, wow, this is how I want to talk about desires and sexuality. So I practiced. And I get coached to learn how to teach this practice for a year. And I have to tell you that at that point, my family and my friends got scared. I came back to France and trained 150 couples. And I learned key facts. But the thing I discovered is that we are living in a world with an oxytocin deficit disorder. Oxytocin is the hormone of love and connection. And when you have a low level of oxytocin, you lose desire for human connection. So this is pretty much what sexuality is online. Success is obvious, but we are often missing the essential and central body sensations. I do not believe in a sex application because sexuality is multidimensional, but I do believe in an application from what is unique, sensations and desires. And this essential element and central element is oxytocin. This app will be from a feminine, exploratory, fun and simple approach. So, OKPLAISIR is your oxytocin booster. A simple functionality to manage your oxytocin daily with your partner. You will learn to cultivate more love and to become bilingual feminine masculine. So for you men, you will learn how to feel and you won't need to decode our cues anymore. For you women, you will learn to give directions on exactly how to reach you. Last June, after Startup Weekend, we launched a beta version based to 60 couples. And it's based on interactive audio exercise, 10 minutes interactive audio exercise to explore in your intimacy. It's pretty simple. You just have to press play and you explore with your partner. It's like headspace for meditation, but for relationships exploration. And what we got from the beta test version is that 40% of couples want a simple functionality to send an intimate request to their partner before exploring in their intimacy. And 30% of couples want more gamification to keep practicing more than 3 days in a row. So we created this prototype with Ben and Florence, and as a side project. And we desire to make this project as a full-time project to become bilingual, feminine, masculine, and make the drop of pleasure for relationships. And the most precious natural resource that will exist tomorrow will be oxytocin. Download the app if you want to join. Thank you.
Okay, so the app, it exists already or it's a beta version?
Yeah, we just got a validation on the Apple Store.
Oh, cool.
I missed it.
Okay, nice.
Yesterday.
Fine. Okay, cool. So if we want to download it, we go and we OKPLAISIR.
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 Yeah.
Right. You keep the French name to make it French. It's all in French inside?
It is French for now.
Okay,
yeah.
It's in French for now. Yeah. All right. So I think we all love the pitch. I mean, it was everybody listened to it. Everybody laughed. Like reconnect directly to the topic. Thank you for bringing this here. And also you really play it well, play it cool. I mean, we definitely see that you're serious into this topic, that you're fully into it, and it's a pleasure to listen to you. Regarding the pitch itself, you should start. I mean, the story was great. Huh? So where you bring it, your own story, going to SF, understanding that there is a big trend, being amazed, your parents are afraid because maybe it's a sect or I don't know what. So this is cool, actually. Huh? But just the headspace for couple, it can help from the beginning, you know, to give a vision of where we go. And all along your pitch, you say, we will. But you do. It's now. Like the 300 couple that you've talked with, we want to know what you've learned exactly. So these are little stuff. In terms of design, all of these images doesn't make me feel like it's cool. It's not beautiful design. It's not a judgment here. It's not a beautiful, good or bad, but it's just that it's not the level of your pitch, the images. I mean, it doesn't serve what you're saying. All the slide, by the way. But the design of the interface, from what we've seen, it looks simple and cool. Yeah, you see the difference between this interface and go next. or before? Yeah, this image, for instance. No, the guy. Yes, this you cannot. It's forbidden. Anyway, you never use this kind of type of font in a slide deck. Huh? Handwriting like that, it's too old school. Men with big cap and with this font doesn't work. And you never use also this system of having a cropped image with two black big things. It shows that you're not into design. Like next slide. This it looks like Céline Dion cover CD. Tu vois, it looks too 90s. So, but this I'm sure it's you. Yeah. But it's okay. Like you're not here to bring the style. You're here to bring the science of it, and we definitely understand it. The two guys, the two other people, the girl and the guy that you've been with during the startup weekend, are they still with you?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So you're
But
full
as a side project and not
side project for
full-time,
them.
yeah.
Okay. So what do you want from this pitch actually here? You want people to download the app? You
Yeah,
want
download the
feedback?
app, send us feedback, and create a team of magicians full time to bring more orgasm in this world.
Okay, cool. And is it only for couple?
I want to start with couples.
You start with
But
couples.
Yeah, it can be applied to relationships as a bigger vision. But the segment right now is couples.
Cool. Who want to use it here? And the other who don't want to use it, why? How many people are celibataire here? Single.
That's a perfect way to connect at a dinner.
So, among the other people who didn't raise a hand, why? Don't you want to use it? Can you speak loud?
It touches to an intimate part of privacy or something.
Intimacy, okay. So why? You don't want to improve this?
No, it's something I think I don't want someone.
Okay. It's hard to allow someone from teaching you on this intimacy thing. Okay. Any other answer? Yeah? You want to know more about oxytocin stuff. That is a scientific guy.
Just for helping her improve, I think I would use it, but I'm just doing fine right now, so it's okay.
It's not a matter about age, huh? I think. Anyway. Okay. So only proud guys in the crowd.
Well, I'm still gonna ask my wife how I'm doing, but I didn't expect you to be more explicit, but you could have been more specific. You know, we could have understand how it works for a couple before using the app and after using the app, just to know, the difference. Because now I don't see the point of using the app. It's going pretty well with my wife. The only thing, so tell me what I can improve. So just show me when it doesn't work, why it's going to work afterwards, and when it works, what it's going to do better. Because that's the thing also. More than 50, maybe 80% of the people in the room, they will tell you everything's okay. So you don't need to tell them that it's going to be better because it was not going well. You need to tell them it's going to be awesome.
Start with
they
the
need
wife.
to understand this.
Yeah. Start with the woman, because they will be your...
the switcher.
Exactly.
Exactly.
But men also want to understand more about female pleasure.
But you lack a clear understanding of the situation.
Yeah.
And so be more specific about that.
Thank you.
I loved your opening question. I thought that immediately captured everyone in the room and got people to listen. As far as the product goes, I'm a little bit skeptical. I liked what this guy said about just wanting to know more about the oxytocin stuff. And it seems to me just intuitively that female desire is a lot more complicated than just oxytocin levels. And as far as the product goes, is it just an oxytocin tracker, or how does it actually, it's measuring levels of oxytocin, and you're trying to draw correlations between like things that you do to your wife and then like her oxytocin levels go up, and then you're like, oh, good, I need to do more of that, or like, how does that work?
So that's a big vision. But the way it works right now, it's interactive audio exercise I recorded in studio, and it's exercise and games to learn how to massage, to look at each other, and to go deeper in your sexuality and your intimacy. So it's a way to be guided through different exercise.
And how are you actually measuring the oxytocin levels?
From check-in before and check-in after.
And is that like a blood test, or how do you get that information?
It's just intuition-based,
Okay.
and from what you're feeling before and after.
Interesting. Yeah, and picking up on what Jean said, the having some testimonials as a part of your presentation, I think would be helpful, just to get some real user feedback from the 300 people that you were testing from.
Yeah.
That would be really helpful, just for us to understand exactly what they got out of it, actually. But cool idea.
Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Jonathan. I'm the founder of MyTwist. So have a look at these two women. On your left, you have Evelyn. She owned very few good quality clothes, and mainly made in France. She used to keep them for years. And on the right is Laura. Laura loves shopping. Laura buy new clothes every month. And so, as you may know, this change in the way we consume fashion was driven by a phenomenon that we call fast fashion in the late 90s. And yet, when you want to have the quality of Evelyn clothes and in the meantime fulfill your desire for novelty as Laura, it's complicated when you're on a tight budget. Sorry. So this is the result of fast fashion. Are you aware that 70% of clothes that are in women's wardrobe are never worn? So actually, here there's a lot of money. And who don't like all the money sitting here? In view of this, I've decided to create MyTwist with the ambition of making pre-owned fashion resale a mainstream practice. This is the main reason why actually today the effort you have to put in comparison with the gain is too high. So MyTwist is a peer-to-peer marketplace where you can buy and sell pre-owned fashion and take a glimpse into your neighbor's closets. It has been launched 3 months ago, and we already have 6,000 buyable items, so available items for sale. Here's the products. So first we will ask you to answer a three-step quiz, body type quiz. Then we will show you the most relevant offer based on many parameters. It can be your body type, it can be the distance, the discount rate. And we also leverage machine learning to understand from your choices and become more relevant in what we are showing you. Once you find an item you're interested in, you can just chat freely with the seller, make an appointment, and close the deal. You can also browse the items based on your body type against your neighbors. So we like to position ourselves as a balance between discovery and recommendation. Why discovery? Because we believe fashion is all about randomness and discovery. It should be something fun. But we also know that searching online for clothes is complicated and time-consuming. So as you can see, our interface is inspired from Tinder and Instagram. We want to get your full attention on every offer. This makes possible two things. When you are the buyer, you see the most relevant and the closest offer first, and the best offers. And the second thing is that the seller gets the full attention for a few seconds and the exclusivity of the user's attention. So this is there's a huge opportunity on this market. It's just in France and just online. It's €1 billion market, and with a steady growth. And it can be even bigger if you can resolve the problem I've mentioned earlier. So today we have big opportunity, mean also big competitors. So we believe that fashion deserve a dedicated marketplace. So that's why we think we can offer a better search experience and fashion experience than horizontal marketplace. And we differentiate ourselves from vertical marketplace based on 3 pillars: personalization, localization, and open communication. You can chat freely with the seller. And we're working on more on item listing and the delivery part. So actually, this is the team. I'm the team. So I'm looking for a CTO and a community builder. So if someone is interested here, feel free to reach out at the end of the meetup. Just thank you. The app is available on the App Store and very soon on Android. And I have one thing to offer here. If there's some woman with plenty of clothes and no time, we can come at your place at any time for free and take the picture for you. Anytime, just shoot me an email. Thank you.
Many questions. When did you launch the app?
Mid-August this year, 3 months ago.
So you have 6,000 items?
6,000 buyable items.
How many users?
We have more, but some are already sold or suppressed from the...
How many users?
3,000 users.
How many transactions?
I think it's not the right metrics for now, because we are looking for the to reach mass critique. And for now, it's like a leaky bucket, because you need to find close to your place, the size, your size, the brand you like, and the product should already still be available. So the metrics we follow today is the Bible, the size of the catalog, and we believe that transaction will come after.
So you didn't have any transactions?
We had some, but I won't communicate on it because it's an ugly metric for now.
Okay, you don't have to hide those kind of metrics. It's okay to tell them, huh?
Yeah, we have few than 20. So
okay. You're looking for a CTO. So who developed the app?
So I work. It has been outsourced actually.
Okay.
So
you're a solo founder?
I'm a solo founder. Yeah.
What did you do before?
I worked 2 years as a project manager at Amazon.
Okay. I had a few other questions I forgot. Alice, yours.
Are you a fashion guy?
So I often have this question, actually. I'm not a fashion guy, but I've been raised in fashion. Actually, my grandfather owned a tailor shop, and I spent all my summer's days in the shop. And my father was also working for underwear companies. So I'm mainly a geek and a marketing guy, but that's why I'm looking for someone to in the team to reach the community, because that's not my main skill today. And I think it's something difficult, and you need to better know the market than I do.
So how did you choose this startup at the end? Because of your grandfather and father? Because you loved fashion? Because you saw an opportunity? Because
I saw an opportunity, because I love e-commerce, and because I always wanted to build a company, and I found an opportunity to do so. So.
Okay, and I didn't hear you said that you developed the app on your own?
No, it was outsourced.
Okay.
I've managed the project, but I
How
didn't
much?
do the coding.
How much did you spend on it?
It was 30K euros.
Okay. So
you have actually there's 70 views in the app. There's a chat, there's 2 algorithms, there's a matching algorithm and a ranking algorithm.
The thing is that I just need to use this as anyone here in the room, if you're about to do this, don't do this. Why? No, but it's not against you, and again, because you've made this mistake on your own, you will never make it again. You want to test the market. You want to see if the girls are ready to pay for vintage clothes. And of course, the design is important in that sense. But in the first place, you need the community first, based on the geolocalization. Like, you can start this with a simple Facebook page. Like, you start putting and inviting all the fashionistas in Paris, inner city, like the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, to make it like concentrated in one space and time. And then you give them a lot of information, a lot of opportunity. You go to Le Bon Coin, you go to every spaces, and you scrap the best deals. And then you make the transaction happen. And once you have like at least, because it's always worked like that. You have 10 girls who are killer on I don't know, Le Bon Coin or any other marketplace, and you will be there like the best deal maker for them ever. So you will bring so much new clients that they will want to work with you. You will become the assistant of these girls, actually. You will understand their pain, you will understand what they need, and you will understand how to make their business grow bigger. This is what a marketplace does, so that they can go on your platform. Once you have the 10 best girls selling the best clothes on your platform, then you will drag all the girls who actually follow them already, but who will be happy to go on your platform, because there will be tons of girls like that.
Yeah.
You see what I mean?
I agree with you. Actually, we started with 100 before the app. We had 100 people ready to put on sale things. You're talking about influent people. And it was not for the most part.
It's not influent people. It's good seller. It's like the Nasty Gal CEO by tens. I went like 2 years before she started like strong business. And you have tons of girls like that who don't want to focus on having a cool and design platform, and they just want to do their little business. And you can scale their business, okay? But don't go to build an app where nobody will go and nobody will do transaction, and where you will spend money, whereas you don't have the core thing, and you didn't even understand what your bestseller needs. Like, this is a marketplace thinking. So anyone here who is willing to put in contact any, I don't know, a hairdresser with people who need a haircut, because I received an email like that yesterday. Never developed the app before. Never. Ever. Build your community first. Do the transaction à la mano first. Then you are attracted by the traction, You have no other choice than automatization. And then you have arguments, and you can go to see any CTO and say, guy, come with me. I have thousands of people who are willing to pay now. They pay by text message right now. And
yeah,
now we go to...
We have them now. But Not at the beginning, actually.
So going back to your problem slide, the problem that you identified was that 70% of the clothes in a woman's wardrobe are not being used.
No, the problem was the effort you have to put in comparison with the gain. Because when you're a seller, it's time. It's a lot of time to list item. And when you are the buyer, it can get complicated to search item, actually. So the high level problem we identify, it's this one. And this is why we want to build services around time, actually.
Right, so I think you're maybe making an assumption that everyone with dead weight in their wardrobes are automatically sellers. So, and for someone to be converted into a seller, they have to recognize this as an opportunity to make money. I wouldn't say it's a problem, actually, that you're solving. It's an opportunity for them to monetize the dead weight in their wardrobe. And for it to be easy on the supply side, ease of use and speed are the two things that you need to be focusing on. So check out, there was a company called Sold that did this very well and was acquired by Dropbox. Okay. So I'd encourage you to look at the way that they built their platform.
Okay, thanks.
You know, just a thing, because it breaks my heart to know that no, it's true. Putting so much amount of money, and it's a product that you've done, and it looks cool, and it looks.
Actually, on design we spend not so much, actually.
No, because you mix the things that are simple, Instagram, Tinder, and quick, as you said. But
they are the best screen you can see in the app.
It's simple. You apply the rules that works, but so it's not a zero. You have a product, okay, but a product, even if it's super well designed, never ever work on its own. You don't put an app on the App Store and it brings the community. It never works like that.
Okay, but we still have people spending hours to list more than 20 items sometimes in their weekend. So
the
there's a need.
Problem with this, of course there is a need, but the problem with this is if I come twice on your platform, if I make an effort of taking pictures and blah blah, and if within 2 months I have no fucking transaction, I will never go ever back to the app. And the deception effect, you don't realize how bad it can be. If I go 3 times, I've put all my stuff on your thing, and there is no one client, I hate you because you make me lose my time.
Your sole focus is transactions. You need to match people. If you don't match them, you lose them. Yeah. If you lose them, you're screwed.
This is what we're trying to build with the ranking algorithm, actually. We want to show the best offer at the right moment to the right person.
Don't lose time on algorithm and people who take your money, whereas you should be matching à la mano people with clothes. Okay.
Thank you.
Bisous.
Thank you.
So, hi everyone, I'm Anna. I'm not a founder of Weslash, sorry. And I actually don't even work for Weslash, at least on a regular basis. In fact, I'm just a student. And as part of my curriculum, I'm currently doing an internship. And like many interns in France, my wage isn't great. So what I do to earn extra money is student jobs. And last week, I heard about Weslash through a friend of mine. And so I decided to sign up to see what kind of jobs I could find there. And so I signed up, and I found my first job on Monday, which was pitcher for Weslash. So here I am. So for me, Weslash is, or seems to be, a very easy way to earn money when I want and the way I want. So usually, when I do student jobs, one of my biggest problem is that they require long-term commitments and fixed hours, which is a bit difficult given that I have a very busy schedule and also a changing one. I never know what I'm going to do next week, so it's a bit hard to commit. And given that most companies are looking for people for the long term, they also want to know who they are. So they ask for CVs, they ask for cover letters, and they ask for administrative forms that seem to be never ending. So there's also a huge waste of time. And with Weslash, I found that I could possibly avoid all these pains. Concretely, what I've done is I've been on their website, I've registered, so I only had to enter my name, my email address, and a few more things like my postcode and my phone number, and then that was it. I immediately had access to job offers, so many job offers of different kinds, some for qualified jobs, like the one I'm doing right now, and some for less qualified jobs, for example, delivery man or bike messenger or this kind of stuff. Then I had to become an auto-entrepreneur in order to be able to do all these jobs. I was a bit scared because the French administration is scary in general. And fortunately, the Weslash team was here to help me go through all those processes. And they answered my questions and provided me with useful information. For example, that as a student, I could only pay 5% of taxes instead of 20%, which I was quite happy to learn. And yeah, so I had this sense of care that I really appreciated. And I'm going to let Gaspard present you for the rest.
Thank you so much, Anna. So actually, we did not know Anna last week, and she was really the girl we needed. And thank you so much. And today, as you understood, Weslash is a platform to get jobs, part-time jobs in startups when you're a student. That's what we offer. Our jobs, we select them. 90% of them are really new jobs, like this one. And as there is more and more Annas in the world, more and more people like Anna, our mission tomorrow is to take care of these people. They don't have all the perks and guarantees you have when you're an employee in a company. So right now we're working hard to create new insurance products, to bring tailored schedules to the independent workers. And this is to structure a brand new market, which is the one of independent work. Behind Weslash, there's a team of 5 people with 4 founders. We know each other for a long time. We organized a startup weekend together a year ago. We've had some freelance experience together. Pierre is in charge of the culture and the strategy of the company. He's both a coding and a biz guy. He's a great CEO. Hugo is fond of Meteor.js. He's our unique CTO. David is the product lover, the designer. And I take care of the community and sales. And we have Julien with us since September. He's our second developer and we love him. And we are Weslash, and I'll be more than happy to answer to your questions and your questions afterwards. Thank you very much.
That was a good pitch, both of you. It's going to be short on my side. I know you guys, all of you, because I met you a few weeks ago, and you're doing a great job. The question I have is that France is different than the UK and the rest of Europe, so it would be interesting to see the difference between finding a job and all the administrative pains that you're solving at some point.
Yeah. We think ourselves as potentially international, but as a local business as well, because we deal with national legal stuff. So we have to know how paperwork in each country. So that's first we're focusing on France, and we know that there's maybe 80% of the work that we can do the same in France and in the UK, in Germany, and we'll do it. But first we're going to understand really well our product and our markets in France and spread it.
Yeah, but so for the companies, you're finding students, and for students, you're simplifying the paperwork, right? And finding jobs, of course.
You mean today?
Yeah.
Or yes, that's what we do. And for companies, we offer a kind of on-demand workforce.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks.
You can't do much better in nailing the problem than having like one of your users come in and explain the problem and how it solved it for them. So I love that. That was novel and unique. One thing that I would have liked to have seen is, after all, this is a pitch to a VC, right? So kind of user, maybe, sort of.
Pitch to, sorry.
Pitch to user, okay. So having more metrics around like customer acquisition or traction or seeing some growth figures would have been interesting, I think. And okay, if it's not a VC pitch, then I'll scratch that last point. But
definitely, we still want to know how.
Okay.
yeah.
So you expect an answer right now about that? Okay. So we launched the product in September. So it's running for 2 months, about 2 months now. We're a bit more than 1,500 users. Every week we have around 50 people working really for companies thanks to Weslash. And it's increasing. We didn't calculate a growth rate right now because we don't think it's really relevant after a month and a few weeks, but we're going to focus on that. And we have new companies coming in every day, and what is interesting is that there are companies that we didn't even meet who are coming to our website. They heard about us thanks to other companies, thanks to internet, and they create an ad by themselves, and then we call them to understand what they need. And what's interesting is that these companies use the product their own way. And they are creating jobs that we wouldn't have imagined, and that's what we really like. For instance, we work with Drivey, the car sharing between private people. And they are launching a new offer that's called Drivey Express. I don't know if you've heard about it. You can order a car on the website to rent a car to rent, and you get it in a few hours. And they're looking for drivers to bring these cars from a car park to the place where the guy lives. And they needed drivers. Another startup needed someone to help them implement a new offer. This startup is called Yumiam. They are in the recipes business, and they needed someone for a month for kind of sales operations, and we helped them find this guy, the right profile they needed.
And what have you learned about techniques that have been successful in onboarding users, both on the supply side and the demand side so far?
So acquisition for users and companies? Yeah.
Yes.
What we're learning for users is that you can do great things just with the internet. We wondered a lot if we should go into universities and give flyers to people, and we didn't do that so far. I think we will, but for the moment we noticed that you can reach people where they are in the internet with good content at the right place, like in Facebook groups, for instance. And that's the techniques we're implementing right now. That's the techniques we discovered and we're implementing. And for companies, we're still working on it, and we're noticing that they need advice to post their ads because we know better than them what they need. So we're explaining them how to make a good ad with the right information that will convince the applicants. And we're helping them answer quickly to the applicants to have them since they are ready to work. And so we're making a kit for companies to help them doing good job.
It's really focused on startups. You have a lot of startups on your platform.
For now, yes.
Yeah. And it's a lot of like the people. Where do they come from? The young.
The students?
Yeah.
For the moment, we're focusing on the Paris region.
Yeah, but I mean in terms of school education, it's what?
Oh, it's really diverse. We have people from universities, from engineering schools, from business schools.
And how much can I have if I work like a typical job, an average job?
It really depends on the jobs, but what we focus on is an average revenue for students. And when you post a job as a company, you have to pay at least 12 euros an hour for the students minimum, yeah. And the average today is around 14 euros an hour. And it really depends on the type of work you do. Yeah, the task can be really hard, so you will be paid higher, or it could be quite easy, and it will be paid a bit less than 14.
Okay.
And one last question: what's your monetization model? Where are you making money in that?
So far, we're making money by invoicing companies for the people we bring to their workforce. So when you're a company, you post a job, and you pay for a candidate that comes into your workforce and that starts working with you. And what is important for us is that you are satisfied with our products. So you only pay if the guy stays in your company and you're satisfied with his work. Anna will get paid, for instance, tonight because I really like what she did. And I'm sorry, just joking. And
just
we have.
Kidding, you're not getting paid.
Sorry.
And we'll in an upcoming future, we're thinking about a revenue depending on insurance. Maybe you know the benefits in the US. That's how they work. The product is free for companies using benefits, and they benefits the company offer an insurance to the people working for benefits. And
is it you who pays the student?
Not yet.
Not yet, but you want to do this.
We want to offer the possibility because some companies ask it
to centralize everything.
So we would be like an intermediary platform, like Airbnb, for instance.
Super. Okay, cool. Super pitch. Bravo.
Thank you very much.
But first, Maria, come on stage and help us get better at English. What you've noticed.
Okay, well, great job, guys. That was really great. Thanks for being so courageous. I think if I were to go into the details, it might take a little while, so but feel free to come up to me afterwards if you want me to get really specific, yeah? So I think what I would say in general, one thing you guys could think about, and this goes for everybody, is to target language that really has to do with your sector, your domain. For example, if you're dealing with cooking and food, I would encourage you to, take a look at some cooking shows, take a look at some cooking, food magazines. Try to pick up some language so that, gives you a little something to work with, because that's your metaphor, right? That's the language that you're using. Like, for example, I'll just give this one particular example. You said to renew your fridge. Yeah, maybe you wanted to say something else. Well, it's restock your fridge, for example, right? Which is totally fine. It's just super specific language. So you can look that up prior to your, pitch, and then, you can try it out. Yeah. let's see. For you, yeah. So we're talking about student life. We're talking about scheduling, everything. So I encourage you to look at other calendar apps, scheduling apps. Even you could even probably look into some, college forums and chat, just to get the language. You know what I mean? Yeah, in English. Yeah. Yeah. But if you're gonna do it in English, yeah. If there was anything particular about this, yeah, I think one of the words that Blake used that you didn't use, you heard it. I knew you heard it. Don't worry about that. Hatched, it's fine. It's the H. No, but manage, to manage one's time. You didn't use manage a lot. No, yeah. So just you did manage. I didn't hear it so much, but manage a student's time. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah. I'll give you more specifics if you want to come up to me, right? Moving forward. Yeah. Okay. So pleasure. Yeah. Would you like to understand female pleasure more? Okay. I would, kind of maybe look into. I would look at like sex therapists. I would look at. There's a word maybe you could use, explore. Because, sexuality is a big exploration. I didn't hear explore so much, so I'll give you that as, toss that to you. Sensations and desires, I would just say sensation and desire, because you're exploring that in general. Exploring. Let's see. The most precious natural resource tomorrow, I would rework that because I just have questions as to what that means exactly. Resource for what, So we can talk about that afterwards. But that I would say was unclear. Yeah. And at the end, when you say you want to, embark on this adventure with us, I would even, again, explore. Do you want to explore with us? Because, one thing, is this, maybe some people take some time to get used to, that. But it's fantastic. But, taking charge of your pleasure. So to take charge, I thought about that as well. That word came into mind. So I would look, sex is a form of communication. So maybe you could use the word communication a little bit, so I would look into, look at sex therapists, look into like how people talk about sex, how people, if you're looking for more specific vocabulary, I would look at that. The verb to deepen your connection with your partner, approfondir, boom, boom. Okay. So for MyTwist, again, I would suggest that you look into get real girly, like look at fashion magazines, closet, a few there are tons of resources out there for you in terms of selling, reselling clothing, secondhand clothing, etc. So you can find really specific vocabulary, I feel like, pretty easily. For example, we have, to get rid of your clothes, spring cleaning. That's something that you do at the beginning of spring. You get rid of old clothes, spring cleaning. So, there's stuff that you can, more specific vocabulary you can find, yeah? Again, I have more specific notes for you guys, especially when it comes to your personal story. We can talk about that. Because your grandfather was a tailor, right? Yeah, he was a tailor. Yeah, he didn't just own the shop. He was a tailor, and your father also was a tailor, right? Yeah, okay, cool. But just for your personal story, just could do that. In general, you guys, there's another way you can say to lose time is you waste time. It's a gaspillage. When you're losing time, you're wasting time. So that's a more precise or specific expression you guys can use to waste time. Yeah. And then that was so cool. That was great. It was a lovely surprise, right? To have her be like, I don't work for them. It's great. Okay. So you're essentially like a temp agency, right? So you find it's temporary work. for freelancers, right? Sort of. Yeah, so it's kind of like a temp agency, right? Yeah, kind of. Okay. Well, again, I would also encourage you, there are temp agencies out there, look at what they say, the language they use, just to draw in some specific vocabulary, if you're talking in English, That's what I would say. I can give you more specific notes, but in general, I would say think about your domain and try to research other companies that are in your domain and see if you can pull out some vocabulary and stuff to help you guys better write your pitches. Yeah? Yeah? Okay. Bye, guys. Thank you.
Okay. Come on. So, keep your best noise for the one you love the most. Putain. What's the name of your startup? I say 1, 2, 3. You put some noise, okay? You give some noise. You make some noise. 1, 2, 3. Mealy. C'est un peu greedy. On sait greedy quand on dit radin. Greedy. Radin. Quand tu gardes, quand tu veux pas donner. Cheap. You're cheap. Okay, what's your name? No, the name of MyTwist. 1, 2, 3. OKPLAISIR. 1, 2, 3. Il n'y a que des mecs dans cette salle. There are only men in this room. Okay, come on, together. Attends, wait, it's you before. Sorry. The name of your startup? 1, 2, 3. Studynizer. Come on, together. 1, 2, 3. Weslash. Okay, so making money is more important than having orgasm. I'm sorry. So the winner, but... Attends, first, congratulations, good job. I hope she will be paid well. Huh? So the winner are Weslash, bravo. But, to be honest with you, they are already in the family. So they already have access to coup d'etat pitch in English for free, because that's the thing with the startup of the family, they get everything for free. So they are not in the family. So you will have now to give the present to someone to learn how to pitch in English. Big present, cost a lot. 700 euros saved. And the time with this lovely Maria. 5 Saturdays. Okay, so who will you give the present to? 1, 2, 3. One, two, three. 1, 2, 3. One, two, three. Attends, ça se joue. It's between them. Okay, so you choose now. You choose. You give more noise to okay, you choose. Huh? Being an entrepreneur, it means you make choices. Black or white, yes or no, right or left. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Yeah! Orgasm in English. Cool. Thank you very much.